Hello, and welcome to Index Purger Demo 1.1. Um, this is a Steam version of the game. Oh, excellent. Just gonna play? Yeah, it seems it will. It's a bit loud. Alright, so immediately we've got a actual intro. So that's a pretty good step up from just black screen. Okay. And as well as telling me to upgrade my drivers, I'll play on any fucking driver I want. Hate it when games fucking do that. But anyway. Okay, this is something. Am I spawning in? Okay, cool. Yeah, great. Okay, we got some guys moving. Okay. Got a lot of settings here. That's nice. I think we'll just go with that for now. Kinda hope it works out. I'm gonna switch those over. And turn the master volume down a little bit. Turn this to like 2. Voice lines turn all the way up. Turn the environment to about half. Actually, about like a little less than half. Okay. Well, that's immediately more polished. I can still see they've kept the blank generic names from the normal one. I don't really give a shit. I'm gonna go storybook. Difficulty in games is a fucking waste of time. Just ask yourself, how much time do you want to waste with a thing? Starting from very little on easy to about like a little bit with normal and then a lot with hard usually. Welcome. This is 2 years of a single developer's work towards making an immersive FPS experience. This version includes a single mission, the Get-In Mall Defense, and the first draft hub-style designs of the city of Index Zero. If you've never played Index Purger before, we recommend playing the tutorial to get a feel for the pace of the game. Otherwise, enjoy and please don't hesitate to use our contact channels to let us know what you think of Index Purger. Yeah, I'll play the tutorial, because they didn't have one last time. It's not a good idea to shoot your own legs. It's also not a good idea to copy Half-Life 2, but that doesn't stop people from doing it. Half-Life 2 was an abject failure, and, you know, in retrospect, it's actually kind of embarrassing. The only thing it really got right was popularizing physics for other games to look after. But besides that, not much else. Alright. Games frame rate. I gotta turn the frame rate up to... I don't know. Let's go back to the cap and turn that shit up. This is apparently Godot as well, so that's pretty awesome. Alright. Ah, great. They added a fucking delay. Of course they did. Textures ain't half bad. A little blocky, but... See, if it was all more like this door, that'd be a lot better, but... Nothing screams exciting like a menial office job. The textures are pretty decent on that. That too. It also helps with the sharpening. That though, yeah, that's, you gotta use some higher quality normal maps to hide this shit. Usually my trick is I get like a color map. I make the actual resolution about half the size of the normal map, or about like 75% smaller, and then just have a high quality normal map. That makes it look a lot better than it really is. Like that trash can. Yeah, the texture on that is not high res, but there's still a lot of decent like lighting and detail on it, especially how it reflects off of this glowing vending machine. Okay. Doors. You might as well just make it a whole wall. That would save you a lot of optimization work too. Why are there doors? Why are there windows with nothing in them? Okay, well I can see down. I'm wearing blue. Okay, this physics objects. Where's this door? I have a creative solution. I think I got a key. There we go. I'll use the key. Fuck your door. That's really secure. You just keep the door unlocked. Cool. Alright, got weapons. Performance is pretty good. Turn on the light. I ain't using your ladder. Fuck your ladder. Okay. You gotta let me use the scroll wheel to change this shit. That's not acceptable. Okay, when I want to switch my gun, I need to be able to use the scroll wheel. Okay? Where's the scroll wheel? Where is it? If I look here, there just isn't. You know, you can't scroll to change weapons with your mouse. Hell, even Game Guru could do that. And that was on an engine I had no coding with. I managed to get that working. But okay. We'll just go under the assumption that he doesn't have that done yet, or something. Oh, good. Can fuck with the music. Oh, nice. Okay. You did have some quick binds for the grenades here, so that's helpful. Index water. I can't read this shit. There's thank you there. But let me hop down. Who's shooting? Fuck you. Alright, so this is a welcome improvement over whatever the hell Build 4 was. Like, thank you. You just got to the shooting. That's it. That's all I wanted. I was telling you, hey dude, can you just get to the... You start the game with having me shoot shit. And there you go. Okay. Oh. Playing Call of Duty now. Yeah, this is some like Counter-Strike source level textures. Where's this guy? Can I switch that for two of them? I cannot. Alright, so we got That looks like a Blender model. Blender model with a low texture. It's very red. I can't ragdoll his body after he's been shot. That texture on his face repeats a bit there as well. Notice how it has like the same 17 blood splats over and over. That's yeah, you might need to get your texture tiling on that, right? Cool TV room. But shoot the TVs. Oh, the TVs don't explode when I shoot them. Well, Call of Duty had that shit in like 2007. You shoot the TV. There's at least some like particles, so I'll give you that. I mean, I'm more of a sparks guy, but if you're gonna, you know, do dust too, that works. Alright, so what we got in here? What are these doors? Yeah, they got their, like, Windows XP servers here. Oh, it's my new computer. Don't tell anyone I'm making an Inspiron. An Inspiron RX 570 computer. So I can make sure Rogue Planet runs on a kind of whatever rig that's cheap. Kind of older. And then so I can make a sleeper PC. So that'll be awesome. Oh, cool. Controls knowledge acquired. How about you say, instead of controls knowledge acquired, you have learned the controls. Good job, soldier. Because I'm a soldier, right? Like, I'm a soldier. That's correct, right? That's correct? I'm a soldier. I'm the agent. We'll be following up your final portion of your interview process. As part of Human Resources here at Omega Security, a wholly owned subsidiary of Get In Mall, it's my pleasure to inform you that the first portion of your interview was well received and that we'd like to extend you an invitation to join our team. Before we continue, I must inform you that if you choose to accept employment with Omega Security, our expectations will be immediate and binding. Once employed by Omega Security, we will exercise the right to neutralize resources should you choose to disregard or disobey direct orders. Silently quit, share confidential data, or damage the Omega Security public image, such as referring to Omega Security as fanatical or terroristic in public forum. Do you agree to this contractual statement? Yes or no, Victor? Okay, I'd like to know more. Unfortunately, no. I may only share confidential details with Omega Security staff. Do you choose to accept our offer? Yeah, sure. Great. As of this moment, you are considered a member of Omega Security PMC, a wholly owned subsidiary of Get In Mall, Index Zero's premier mega mall network. Welcome to the family, Victor.
It's part of the family, Victor. You need to get the judge for the mall. Horses.
So as you may know, Omega Security was formed to protect our interest in a joint venture with Alpha Industries, one of modern society's largest weapons manufacturers. As such, your first assignment is M-Mink. This is a security firm. This security firm of repute is officially a clean, legitimate security consortium that provides security services to many of Index Zero's best and brightest. Unofficially, M-Inc. What, M-Inc. or M-Mink? I'll just call you Mink. Mink is a massive restricted zone operation with kidnappings, organ theft, mad science labs, and even more some racketeering. Both the founders of Get In Mall and executive directors from Alpha Industries have had personal conflicts with Mink. Although we don't know as much as we ought about Mink, we've been tasked with neutralizing their operations and reappropriating their technical research data. Note that you might consider this a feel-good op, as locals would feel grateful for Mink's reduced presence. Any questions? Can I ask how you have agent as your identifier? An enigmatic device known as a name changer. They're allegedly citizen manufactured, although I've never found a producer. I found one by chance while operating in restricted zones and stupidly changed my name to Agent because I like the sound of it. My employer terminated my employment after and after some legal troubles, paperwork, and regret, I found my role here with Omega. I was extremely naive, and I'd change it back if I could. What am I getting paid to do? Excellent question, citizen. As part of Omega Security, a wholly owned subsidiary of Gideon Mall, you will be responsible for the neutralization of opposing forces and their defenses. This may include defusing or deploying C4 explosives, placing or destroying sentry guns, and circumventing security systems as necessary. Regarding Mink specifically, you are to secure their data by any means necessary. Well, fuck, they didn't remove the sentry guns. Or the C4. Told you to fucking remove them. Well, whatever. Tell me about Mink. Or Omega Security. Okay, cool. Alright, no further questions. Excellent. Omega Security is pleased to have you aboard, Victor. Okay, welcome to the Matrix, Neo. We're gonna go shoot some terrorists. Why? Because why the fuck not? Okay. I'm aboard, Victor. We got a high-paid, high-priority job on tight schedule. Let's pay close attention and memorize your call signs, people. Units 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay. Our index famous Gideon Mall is under terrorist assault initiated by Mink. Most likely retaliatory. Be advised we've lost connection with the previous Alpha Zero team, resulting in limited recon data. See, this is all you had to do. Just open the game with telling me what's happening, why. If you don't have all the details now because you want to do some hush-hush, secretive betrayal shit, there's some James Bond shit, that's fine. But just don't do fucking Half-Life. Please, for the love of God. Alright. The images we've received so far. Alarmingly, Mink has deployed chemical bombs as well as C4 explosives that must be defused as quickly as possible. Explosions. Mink has sent a range of commercial military resource classes. I realize you're a vet, so I'll just review heavy unit tactics. Okay. Let's keep this short. Blast this fuck, shoot him while he's down. Volatile and armored, but not immortal. Suppressive fire is an option, but just end them quickly. If you're feeling quick, get them to stun themselves with their own bombs. Extremely armored, cannot be struck by bullets easily. Most resilient, slow, special. He has see this. That's what I was saying. Thank you. You've added an actual outline of how they work. So his weakness is explosives, and he has a teleporting grenade. And he may spawn grenades or sentry guns. I'd like a button to actually let me go forward and back as well instead of it just auto-scrolling. So anyway, here's our objectives. Fortify the territory, survey surroundings, resist, eliminate hostiles. Primary objective is to neutralize all explosive devices and any hostile forces within Mall territory. In the event of radio loss, use local comms channel with extreme caution or located one-way radio transmission. These priorities should remain regardless of comms with Overwatch Actual. Okay, so there are ECM jammers in the area. Expect radio loss. Once all objectives are completed, your squad can safely evacuate through the Technician's Hall, demarcated as E3 exit point. That concludes this presentation. The founders of Gideon Mall wish our beloved Omega Security Forces the best of luck. Okay. If, for future reference, if you want me to read some shit, and then, you know, you have a button or something, I would just have it, like, say, go forward or go back, because I couldn't read all that. Mink assaults the Gideon Mall in retaliation to prior assault ops we carry out on Mink. Restricted zone control stations. Mink has chosen to attempt an assault on us. We can seek justice via the ICC, who will penalize Mink for this terrorism. But first, we must survive and secure our position. Neutralize Mink forces, specifically demolition devices. We suspect Mink intends to plant chemically charged explosives, which will need to be located and neutralized, as their detonation would mean the permanent loss of the Ginnin Mall. Potential enemy set. Light units reinforced, electro units explosive, chemical heavy. Potential mount 3 squads. The brass is ranked this opera cakewalk. Okay. And see, that's another thing too. You actually have a system here wherein I have to unlock this shit as well. So there's proper progression. Though, honestly, just finding the shit and abusing it is also fun. But won't hold that too against you. Well, at least not too much. Has a grenade launcher. Alright, we'll just go with whatever I have, I guess. Excellent. I'm gonna go behavior, aggressive. That looks good. And then we got painkillers. Yeah, that's not particularly good. What's the difference between this and this? I couldn't tell you. Okay, well. Here I go. Nope. Thought I was playing there for a second. Nah, it's just a loading screen. Seems like mday 1.1 and 1_1 and 1_0 have changed a little bit. Problem is the loading screens go down to about 1 frame per second, so I can't see what cool tips they have up there when they're just lagging in the loading screen, but I'd rather you lag in the loading screen than in the game. Okay. Here we are, we're in. We got in the mall. Okay, I'm waiting for the game to start, please. Oh, alright, that frame rate's not great. This is... Look at these textures, okay? Does that look like it's 45 frames? Just look like it's material to be about 20 frames a second. Does that look... that... No. That doesn't happen, okay? Well, at the very least, you did do a lot of work here on the actual visuals, but I'm going to fucking set this shit down, I guess. Which is kind of a drag, but whatever. If it has to happen, it has to happen. This is a Titan XP. There's 12 gigabytes of VRAM. That's not acceptable. Alright, a game like Crysis 2 or Crysis 3 can run on this shit. No problem. So... immediately gonna have to dock points for that. That's pretty shitty. Here we go. Let's try it again. Oh, is it? I can't. My mouse is busted. I can't look. Alright, let me just save this and then let me put out to the menu and hope it works if I load it again. Oh, now I can move it, of course. As soon as I turn it off, it fucking lets me... Okay. Fine, just go ahead. Let's try this again. What the fuck? I can't move it again. My mouse is frozen. Where am I? Let's try this. No, I can't move my mouse. I tried just disconnecting it and reconnecting it. See if that does it. Nope. Okay, so... And then it just... Okay, so what the fuck is this thing doing? Dataskis, you gotta do a little better than this shit. Okay, let me just try a fresh game here and see if that does it. Just skip the fucking cutscenes. I already played the tutorial, we're good. Cool, let's just skip through this shit. Cool. Alright, let's try this again. Code sign. Why is it saying code sign? Cool. Alright, now let's hope it's a cakewalk this time, because I actually do want to fucking get through this. Okay, whatever, I'll just go with this usual one. I've got quite a few bugs already. But you'll see that in the Let's Play when it's uploaded. Okay, it's working now. Alright, what do we got? Where's the... So it's actually just getting like 75 frames. Oh, great. Oh, hey dude. See, this is more what I was talking about. Just do something like this. At no point should I have to lower the settings if I have a Titan XP and it's running a game that looks like that. Okay? Look at the fidelity we're working with here. This looks like an Xbox 360 game. This guy, does he really scream next gen to you? Does he scream Xbox One? That looks like a guy who is in an indie game from 2010 on the Source engine. He looks like a dude from like in the old Insurgency or America's Army 3 on Unreal Engine 3. Like I should be getting 300 frames a second easily, but I'm not. So it seems like he removed all of the shit that was in the way here and put like some pipes and tubes and stuff under here. It's sharp, I'll give it that. I don't know where the Oh, there's food. You consume a food pack. Just say you ate some chips. That's what those are. Alright, let's go defuse the bombs. This guy's dead. It was a real cakewalk, you know? You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of Hunt Down the Freeman even more. Hunt Down the Freeman and, like, some Black Mesa mods. Alright, so there's an actual C4 model. So I do have beeping on the bombs, it seems. Still defuse the bomb. We're playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive here. No, we're not playing Counter-Strike. We're just playing Tactical Intervention. Remember that game with the buggy-ass police cars? Well, that's what this is. The frame rate is wildly fluctuating from about like 70 to 100. So, if you played this on a shitty computer, you'd have like basically no frame rate. I do like the music again. The music and these, like, you know, CRT monitors and menus and shit. It's like very Y2K almost. Kind of early 2010s, late Xbox 360. Kind of reminds me of Payday 2 a bit in terms of fidelity. So, like, not great, but not terrible either. That are like, you know, 2010s, like some Hunt Down the Freeman stuff. There's a lot of smoke. You don't really do a good job of walking now, do you? Alright, I leveled up. I'm a hero, guys. Bet you they're planting bombs on, I don't know, some actual fucking horrible shit that's worse than alleged human trafficking. And organ trafficking, or whatever the fuck they said. Okay, there's an office and some other stuff over there. Broken bottles. It's got a MP5 or something. Alright. Oh. Yeah, that vignette effect where you get hit. There are better ways of doing that. Okay, so don't blind me, for fuck's sake. When I'm trying to shoot the guy with the gun, it's not impactful, it's just fucking annoying. Well, we're not surrendering, so... Oh, yeah. Welcome. This is like the whole Combine control thing. They got the Half-Life 2 written all over this. Death to Gordon Freeman. Orange bastard. Skybox is good. I like the smoke. Oh, shit. There we go. Fire from the hip. See, this is more polished. This looks more presentable. Maybe if you cut out this Banjo-Kazooie bullshit where they just go like... You'd do a lot better. Like, if you need some free voice acting, dude, I know where to find it. Hell, you could even use an AI or a text-to-speech if you wanted. That'd be better than just... It's not 1996. You can do a lot better than this. Heavy units. Oh, is that the big guy? I think it is. Fire in the hole, bitch. Oh. Well, thanks, job, 1-1. Thanks, job. Thanks, nice job, 1-1. Thanks for the job. the Jaj. Fuck you. And good thing for auto-saving, too. Thanks, Jaj. Okay, he's dead. And there's actually good hit, indication. There's like a score there at the bottom that says, hey, that guy's been neutralized. Might be good if, like, my guy does call-outs. He's like, enemy down. Tango neutralized. Oh, did I kill him? Oh shit, there he is. It's the boss battle. Hit him in the head. Bye-bye, bitch. Level up. Oh, I'm taking that. He dropped a machine gun. Excellent. Oh, shit. Yep. See, if that's how you're gonna use the blinding, or it's just like a transition or some shit, I can accept that, but not constantly. Just use that shit sparingly. That kind of shit could give people, like, panic attacks. Alright, 2 hours later. I think if you want this transition to kind of work, you might want to get rid of the HUD, and then when it pops up from black, you actually just turn the HUD back on or something. Okay. Attempted to blow up the store. Like, see, how did I know that? I just clicked a button. Your squad status is unknown. Whatever reason you managed to survive and long enough to someone found your still breathing body. Must be the hacker man. Oh, sweet. I'm alive. Okay. That's a good thing there's actually an indicator for the cooldown on that. Okay. Can go that way, but before I do, I'm gonna fuck around over here and see if there's anything. It's an equipment locker. Think I'm good for now. I like that there's different classes too, so that's handy. A lot of soda machines. Alright. Oh, okay. That's apparently how you win. What you could say, instead of loading screen note by this person, you just put it in quotes and say the name of the person, as if to quote them, like you're in world. Okay. So they blew up this shit. Where'd all the shelves go? There wasn't anything in here now. It's gone. Nice effects. Like these flashing lights. It's pretty cool. Nice. Bet you there's some motherfucker here in the dark. There's some pipes. This reminds me of, like, Galaxy in Turmoil a bit, at least in their map design. Though, they definitely got the part where it's actually a coherent game a little better than they did over whatever the hell studio was making Galaxy in Turmoil. Can I get this? Cool. Alright, he's got a gun. It's just been unlocked. How do I... Oh, okay. Oh. Grenade. Miss me. Okay. Well, another button. Run into a box, shoot 3 guys, go press a button. Run into another box, shoot more guys, press a button. Yeah, we're really not evolving past the 90s, are we? We're not really trying. Okay. See, there you go. Parts bag. Like, what the hell is a details? What's a details? How do you set up a sentry gun using a details? You set up a sentry gun with a fucking part bag. You use parts to set up a sentry gun. That's how you fucking set up a sentry gun. Alright, this looks a little more convincing. Reminds me of my movie theater. There's a movie theater I used to go to all the time as a kid. Looked kind of like this with that black and red. That and something like Steak and Shake. Oh, great. He can shoot me while I'm currently, stuck there. Alright, that sentry gun looks okay. But don't expect me to read it a fucking bedtime story this time. That's not gonna fucking happen. Because that last time I had to fucking stand next to it, whisper in its ear, tell it it's gonna be alright. When I knew full well that wasn't the case. Okay, what the fuck is going on with this frame rate? As soon as they shoot me, my frame rate goes down to fucking 0. Nice. Alright. There's a bunch of them down there. Fuck you, sentry gun. Eat shit, bitch. Just aim for the head. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just fade to black. I win. I think this index has been thoroughly purged. What the fuck am I purging? Why? I don't know. See, once again, you're just working for a company. You're providing security from terrorists. Alright. They executed their op and detonated a chemical bomb within the Get-In Mall. Your body was racked with pain as you realized you've fallen victim to one of Mink's chemical weapons. Thankfully, you fell unconscious almost immediately. You're suffering extreme chemical poisoning. You lost a lot of blood while you were unconscious. You're alive thanks to Citizens Rescue. Lucky you, you were alive. You were too alive to be sold on the meat market, so they dragged you into the hotel lobby and patched your ass up. They staunched your blood loss and neutralized the part of the infection that would kill you. Despite this, you're suffering reduced health and movement speed. Oh, cool. Alright. There's an audio message. Find an egress. Okay. Okay. It's a weird ass effect. Don't do drugs, people. Winners don't do drugs. Drugs do winners. Alright. I guess I'm gonna go this way. Oh, yep, it's the fucking back rooms, of course. Gay. Gay and lame. Oh, dear God. God help us all. Y'all need Crisis. Y'all need Transformers. Y'all need to stop fucking copy-pasting shit posts from 4chan. Is this supposed to be, like, scary or something? It's a fucking hallway. Find an egress. My God, guys, did you know that the early 2000s happened 20 years ago? Yeah, what about it? Just it did. Like, there's nothing to add important to the conversation. Nothing interesting to say. Just did you know about it? Yeah, I did. Did you know that constantly saying a bunch of meaningless trivia doesn't really add anything to this conversation? No, they didn't. Well, shit, no wonder. Like, for fuck's sake, guys. How hard is it to make a game that you can just play offline anywhere you want? On, like, an old computer or even a new computer. With these graphics, why am I getting, like, you know, constant frame dips and shit? I should be able to run this game at the max settings at, like, 300 frames a second instead of 40. So, if you're watching this, you gotta optimize your shit better, because it's clearly not working, whatever you're doing. Dude, these markings don't make you Half-Life. Alright, so let me tell you why Half-Life sucks. First thing, the story is full of constantly bitching, whining people who are arrogant, smug, and cocky. The physics are constantly overcompensating for the otherwise lackluster world and interactions. Most things that do have impact or intensity are annoying as shit, or otherwise, like, in the most uneventful places possible. I think another thing that particularly bugs me is how you're fighting aliens, allegedly. It's an alien invasion, but how the fuck would you be able to know that anyone's actually an alien? The only aliens I saw were Vortigaunts, maybe those hunters, maybe them striders, and the gunship. And then them zombies. Is that really innovative? Those sound creative. They sound like creative zombies. Creative aliens. It's an alien invasion, and all we can do is just use normal guns. The only guns that are interesting are the crossbow, the combine gun, and then the gravity gun. Otherwise, the rest could easily fit into like a bargain bin Counter-Strike clone from like 2005, and you would never know. Dr. Breen is like the only good character, because he's the only one who says or does anything interesting. But he constantly gets cut off by the whiny bitches over in the corner, fucking Eli and Alex, like, hey, you were supposed to be working for the G-Man. Did you know that your contract was open to the highest bidder? No, actually. I didn't know I was, you know, still doing my contract. I thought I'd completely lost track of any story, because I'd fallen asleep about 7 times in the time it happened. Could you please tell me more? That's rather interesting. I know if you don't want to, I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of them. I'll just get rid of them. Please do. Fucking get rid of them. I fucking hate Alex and Eli. Oh, well, you know me from Black Mesa. No, you could have been anyone. They didn't have characters in Half-Life. Oh, it's me, Barney from Black Mesa. You remember me? No. Oh, well, you remember me. No, I don't. Go fuck yourself. About that beer I owed you. You owed me a beer? I didn't know that. The story hinges upon menial little details in the files of the first game. Barney? Okay, who's Barney? Barney could have been any number of guards. Same thing with Eli. They copy-pasted the same black scientist model about 700 times, or the same, Einstein model for Kleiner about 1,000 times. Or Barney was literally just the name of a generic security guard, or the G-Man. He's not named. Who am I working for? What am I doing and why? There's no explanation. Half-Life isn't clever. It's fucking unfinished. It's arrogant, it's smug, it's cocky, and on top of that, it just doesn't have a fucking soul. The first game at least had the whole bit where it's like a parody going for it, because they were poking fun at how menial and boring something like Duke Nukem or Unreal Tournament had become by painting it like it's an office job. Like it's just a chore, like nobody actually wants to do it. It's not creative, it's not interesting, nobody likes it anymore. And so many games took that as an endearing trait when it just wasn't. It was a satire. They're doing a lot of what Xbox did. They're showing this place that's cartoonishly horrible and these things that are terrible, right? And they're showing you why they're terrible, why they're inefficient, why they're slow, lazy, they don't take, care of their equipment. You don't want to be in a fucking office. An office sucks. An office is boring. You don't want to go to work in a fucking game. Like, that's the thing. So, making it, making fun of these, alien arena games and other stuff like that, and saying just how menial and boring they've become is great. That's a great parody. And on top of that, you're actually doing something interesting by showing off how you could do this without weirdly sexual cutscenes or, a bunch of, shit you can't control. You're actually giving agency to the player in Half-Life, or Valve did anyway. They gave agency to their player and then said, yeah, all of that stuff that didn't give you control was contrived because you had no control over it, and it was weirdly just, inappropriate. It wasn't funny. It was just cringy. Or embarrassing. After the 17th time Duke Nukem saves a girl, it's just boring. It doesn't matter how many, buff Duke Nukem motherfuckers you have and how many blonde chicks you have. If you keep seeing the same shit over and over again, it eventually becomes boring and contrived. The same shit happened to Call of Duty. It doesn't matter how many times you want to explode the Eiffel Tower, the whole fucking thing becomes contrived and boring after a certain point. It doesn't matter as many times as you want to fucking put vinyl records and fucking 2003 looking architecture in a place. I'm glad you understand that that stuff looks cool, but if there's no depth to it, why do I care? Give me a cool reason for going back to these places. Don't just fucking reuse them because you're lazy and can't figure out something new. That's the problem with nostalgic games. They just go off the idea that you liked a thing because it looked like shit. No, I liked it because it was new, creative, and interesting. Constantly did stuff I wasn't expecting. Took me to places I had never been. That's what made it interesting, not just the shitty graphics, textures, and poor performance. That was a consequence of crappy computers at the time, not an endearing thing you want to strive for, which is the problem with something like Unreal 5. Or Unity, even. Why would you update when an older version is better? And on top of that, why would you ever want to use Unreal Engine 5 when Unreal Engine 4 or even 3 is just a superior tool that doesn't rely upon half-assed temporal anti-aliasing setups and mechanics? That stuff doesn't really help, unless you're making a, surreal dream game or something. But even then, you could probably just use, SMAA or FXAA, or, any number of other techniques. Like Black Ops 3, they have surreal shit in that fucking game. You know what they used? FXAA and MSAA. Or no, it was SMAA, my bad. It was filmic SMAA. SMAA, my bad. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but anyway. The kind of thing about it was the endearing trait was they're being new, they're being creative, and they're trying new and interesting things. They lost that trait and that interesting aspect to their games, I think, around like 2014, 2015. All these games stopped trying to do new and innovative things. They just started doing the same thing, but with a slightly better coat of paint and less features. Why would I care about your game if it has less features and less options than something from 20 years ago? Do you see how this self-defeatist cycle kind of loops back, where people get the wrong idea about why those games were good? And then how these new companies refuse to innovate or do anything new or interesting, so therefore people go back to old things? This design is starting to infect a lot of, it's already infected a lot of indie games. I was guilty of it myself, but the thing with it, when I made a nostalgic Xbox 360 game, was pushing graphics and performance, because I noticed they had kind of become problematic. If you're going to have crappy graphics, well then make it run on a crappy computer. Like, that's the benefit of having crappy graphics too. You don't really need to mess around too much and put too much effort into it. It helps to put a lot of effort into it because you care, but like, don't overwork yourself, right? This game is on a Titan XP. How I'm not getting like 300 or 400 frames a second in this at all times is, kind of beyond me, but have you explored Index Zero? This better not be the Half-Life town. Tried developer console commands. Start exploring a new side. Alright, well, I'll continue this discussion in the next video. I'll do another part of this where I refuse the mission and see how that goes. Thanks for watching Index Purger. I do have to say, you've improved quite a lot, but, the point does stand. If you're going to make a game that has, like, Xbox 360 levels of graphics, I expect extremely high performance, because you're kind of pitting yourself up against other games that look better and run better, too. So, if you're going to go for crappy graphics, don't do what Halo Infinite did, where your game just looks and runs like shit all the time. Do something like what Ziggurat or Black Squad or Crysis 1, 2, or 3 did, where your game looks great, or, good enough anyway, but it runs on fucking anything. That's the kind of black magic optimization we need. Just look at CryEngine, look at Crytek, that kind of stuff. Nobody does. So that sounds like you've got an open market. That would be my recommendation. But, yeah, that aside, pretty enjoyable. Despite a few weird technical hiccups, like my mouse not turning suddenly after loading a save, or some other random bullshit, like the frame rate dipping, even though it looks like a game from like 2009. This was pretty good. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Dataskis and whoever else. Hope you'll take these notes into consideration. Take care.